How long should your explainer video be? Many people plan when they start the process to keep it under 60 seconds. Is that realistic? Well, our average speaking pace is about 160 words per minute, or about 10 full-length sentences. Let's review the most common formula for a script and see how that plays out. To get started, you need to review the problem, to create confidence that you really get the customer's pain point, and that you're simply obsessed with eliminating it. Don't make the common mistake of rushing this part to get to your list of product features. If you can gain trust in those first few sentences, you've done the heavy lifting, and the minutia of how your solution works is actually secondary. So, let's give that, say, 3 of our 10 sentences. Next is the follow-up, "Wouldn't it be great?" section, framing the general form a solution might take. It also might explain why the obvious approach won't work, or is today handled poorly by your competitors. This is sort of tacked on to the first part, so let's give it 2 solid sentences. You've now used up half that minute we were aiming for. Onwards. Now you can introduce your product or service. Usually a logo with your elevator pitch that sums up the power of your innovation or uniqueness. That's 1 sentence. Finally, the toughest part. Packing all the cool stuff about what you do into a concise description. Remember, you've only got 4 sentences left. So here's how you do it wrong. Spend the rest of your time listing your features. Why? Because doing that means that your pitch can be undermined instantly by the yes but factor. There are always specific features that you might not get to mention, facts that don't connect to a specific customer, or functions that just take too long to explain. The viewer holds that stuff against you and may take themselves out of the equation. The solution? Toss those features into a short list that has an etc. feel to it, and then focus on benefits. Why? Because when you list features, you are at the center of the discussion. When you talk benefits, the viewer is. It packs more of an emotional punch, and it means there's less detail they need to try to quickly absorb and remember. Now, back to the tally. Even if you can squeeze that benefits section down to just 4 short sentences, and that's tough, you're already at the 60-second mark, and you haven't gotten to the summary or call to action. So, what have we learned from this little exercise? Aim for 90 seconds. For most of our clients, it's even hard enough to cap it there. But unless your product is insanely simple, striving for that magic 1 minute usually means a painful process of compromising and skipping over key areas that can drive home your story. Now, we're way over 90 seconds here ourselves, but this is a tutorial, not a hard sell for something. Which brings me to my final point about context. If you have a complex B2B product or demo, sometimes you actually can't do it justice in less than 2 minutes or even a bit more. And it's not the end of the world. You see, your business customer will be just fine spending a bit more time watching for 3 key reasons. First, there's hopefully some tangible financial benefit at stake, and that makes a difference. Second, it's his job, and that means it's part of his responsibility for the day, not a distraction from it. And finally, because the alternative is lots of business-type reading and clicking through websites, PowerPoints, and PDFs, the extra 45 seconds is a small price to pay to get the short version. Creating the perfect script is an art form. It takes time and experience, and it's not a challenge that most people have seen before. At Rapid Fire, creating that story is our favorite part of the process, and we're ready to take you through it. Thanks for watching. Rapid Fire Consulting and Video. We make a long story short.